On December 19th, 2023, officers in Arkansas pursued an individual wanted on several felony warrants across multiple states. What they didn't know is that the day would end in tragedy. Their suspect, Mario Donnell Page, was wanted by a drug task force originating out of Memphis, Tennessee.
We had been trying to catch Mario for several months. He's fled from us several months. I had a snitch call me, or a CI, however you choose to put that, call me and tell me Sunday that she had him trying to come and pick up money from her.
He buys stolen cars. Okay. The girl said, hey, I got $3,000. Can you get me a decent car? You know, it was a setup.
Right. All of the charges on Mr. Page are he will come to try to sell you his car. He just hits you in the head, takes your money, and flees.
While local officers and bail bondsmen waited for Mario to arrive on scene, they called for the Arkansas State Police to assist as Mario
Yo, what is this?
2 officers were en route.
He pulled up on us. We tried to get him out of the car. He rolled down the window the minute he saw me, and I took my hood off.
I've never seen that before. This is kind of interesting.
I took my hood down and had my
This meal looks fucking dank.
It looks
absolutely dank.
A trooper and a detective. Okay. Mario Page almost hit the trooper when he shot out because he never let off the gas. Spun around, went code 3, and took off.
I got some more food.
Okay.
Well, I ordered 2 things and then only one came. So this guy's thinking racing lines and shit.
I'm with a DPF guy. Just sitting down.
Show food. Bussin'.
Still south on Mound City. Headed towards West Memphis. Just left Marion city limits. It's a white Chevy Impala with tinted windows. It's a Tennessee.
Hey, tzatziki sauce. It's a bomb. Wait, is that a cop? Oh, dirt, I think somebody.
Coming up to the railroad tracks on Mound City South. North City. I'm trying to catch up to him. He's a little ways ahead of us.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy though. Oh, big turn, hold on.
That truck.
Trolled.
I had to stop for a truck I didn't think was going to stop. He's got further ahead of me. He's about to get on eastbound on the interstate, up 281.
Oh, dude. Bro, dude. Bad driver. Bro, slow in, fast out. It's not that easy. It's not crazy. Come on, bro.
He's passing on the shoulder, 282 eastbound. Still about a quarter mile ahead of me.
282 eastbound.
Why go out on a track and shit? I'm the go-to driver.
Doing that now.
Okay, right here.
TVI wrecked out 284.
CVR 284.
Bro, I don't know if this is chef or whatever, but dude, no comms, nothing, pure silence. Nobody's saying shit. No clipper, no clipper pit. Just fucking, just straight murder. What is that?
There's multiple units on scene.
We doing film takedown. We're not getting a response right now. Not responding.
10-4, West Memphis has first responders in the EMS tent.
According to police reports, trailing officers pulled over and quickly ordered Mario at gunpoint to leave the vehicle. After they continually received no response, officers approached. The secondary officer details this scene in a post-incident interview.
Came along the driver's side of the car because it was resting on its roof. Was able to bust the driver's side rear window. Of course, it had the side curtain airbag, at which time I took a knife to cut the airbag so that we could see into the vehicle, at which time I found a black male. Lower half of his body was in the front driver's seat, in between the passenger and driver's seat, with his upper torso in the back. His arms were across his chest, wasn't responsive, kind of gasping for air. Eyes were not open. It was just like in my 30 years, I call it a death rattle. Okay. It's that last gasp breath. This time EMS arrived. He actually went in the vehicle, and I believe he was the one that checked to see if he had a pulse and all that. And he advised he did not have a pulse.
Paramedic advised you don't have a pulse.
Mario was pronounced dead at the scene shortly after by emergency medical services. Outside of the vehicle rolling numerous times, it is likely that he was not wearing his seatbelt based on his placement, lowering his chances of survival even more. An investigation was opened to determine if any wrongdoing resulted in Mario's passing. According to news sources, this investigation placed Trooper Garrett James Bird on paid administrative leave until the investigation was placed Trooper Garrett James Bird on paid administrative leave until the investigation was resolved. In a press release by the department, they attributed the cause of the crash to Mario.
Guys, it's always, well, they killed somebody. It's always gonna be paid leave. It doesn't matter. Even if it's lawful or not, they always investigate. Even the most lawful kills, whatever. It's just for everybody's fucking. It's just
Hitting the brakes at 140
this is for
miles
everybody's
per
sake.
hour prior to Trooper Bird's pit or TVI maneuver attempt. Using dashcam and Google Earth references.
I mean, why paid it? But even if some guy had a rocket launcher and was shooting at the cops, and the guy killed him, right? Which is code, right? Of course, it would still be a paid leave. It's the same thing.
We found their speed estimation to be fairly accurate. We calculated that the officer's average speed 5 seconds prior to the collision was 136 miles per hour. Typically, pit or TVI maneuvers at these speeds are limited to deadly force situations at many agencies across the United States. One example policy from the state of Minnesota discourages pit maneuvers at over 40 miles per hour, and in certain situations, at over 25 miles per hour. However, the Arkansas State Police are a rare agency that allows pit maneuvers for most pursuits, as their policy doesn't list any speed recommendations for them, nor does it correlate speed as a prerequisite for use of deadly force in these maneuvers. In the pursuit report submitted by Trooper Bird, it lists there were no methods.
Whether you have to be deliberately obtuse. The guy is pitting from the right into the left. What is going on with the car, little buddy? What do you think the car is going to do? It's the same thing as when you're parking on an uphill. Like, how do you park? Like, are you stupid?
Of forcible stops utilized, and that the primary reason the pursuit ended was due to Mario hitting the guardrail. Trooper Bird shared what he recalled during an investigative interview.
All right, it's Friday, December 22nd, 2023, and I'm at the Crittenden County Sheriff's Office Dispatch Center with Trooper James Bird and his attorney, Russell Wood.
I went back in over towards the left lane, which he was still in, to attempt to perform a tactical vehicle intervention, or TVI, and I don't know if he anticipated what was coming and was just trying to get me off of him, or he was intentionally trying to wreck me. But the suspect slammed on the brakes, and it's like when he did, the vehicle veered right, and I was still kind of right there beside him, and it collected.
That's not how that works. That's just incorrect. We could look at it again.
It caused a collision. We both veered right, made sure that we had fire and EMS en route to assist the suspect. They informed me that they weren't getting any response out of him. There was plenty of help there, waiting on fire and EMS, and I went to check on the truck driver, make sure he was okay.
The day after the incident, various news organizations obtained this highway camera footage pertaining to the crash and criticized the police department's telling of the events, indicating that
I didn't even see the cyclope out of his brake lights.
Camera footage pertaining to the crash and
This guy did not brake.
Criticized the police department's telling of the events, indicating that the crash was caused by a TVI attempt and not by Mario hitting the brakes. However, in the dash cam footage we obtained, it does appear that Mario brakes just before the collision.
Oh, right here. Actually, yeah.
Just before.
Well.
Or the collision.
Okay, but I don't think it matters though, because if he hits the back of the car, it does the same thing to the vehicle. He will be going right side because the way you're pushing the car. You're pushing the back to the left. When it happens with the front, the car is going to be angled towards the right. It's the same thing will happen.
Before the collision. According to news sources, if this crash is ruled as a result of a TVI, Mario's death would be the 4th Arkansas TVI fatality of that year. As the public debates the safety and effectiveness surrounding TVIs, Arkansas State Police Director Colonel Mike Hagar shared his reasons on their use. We're not gonna just hope that they're not gonna hit someone, that they're not gonna kill your family, that they're not gonna kill my family. We've seen that.
Skip.
Happen. Unfortunately, this is not theory. We know what's gonna happen the longer we let that go on. So the reason we believe it is the best tactic is because it's the most immediate tactic to bring that pursuit to a conclusion. We don't want anyone to be killed, but at the end of the day, we are always going to maintain that clear priority of life, which is the innocent public, then the law enforcement, then the suspects. 2 weeks after the incident, the investigative report.
It's not the greatest chat thing. It's under my philosophy that you can always do better. You can always do better. Then in a scenario, you can always find a better solution than just having some whatever quotes to do dumb shit. Okay. I don't give a shit what you think. You're just an idiot. You're just an idiot. You can absolutely have done better. And in most states, they will stop the pursuit, especially after having identified the driver. If the car is to them, they'll issue a warrant. 140 miles an hour, continue to chase in heavy traffic, and going for a full-on collision, bro. That's just brother. That's just murder. It's just what it is.
Officials received a letter from the state prosecuting attorney, Sonia Haygood of the 2nd Judicial District. The letter stated no charges would be pursued against Trooper Bird and gave authority to close the use of force review as justified, specifically spelling out that Mario caused the crash and that Trooper Bird did not complete a TVI.
Now, the PIT maneuver, short for Precision Immobilization Technique, or Tactical Vehicle Intervention, has been used by law enforcement since the 1980s. And although using it comes with much controversy, in my opinion, I do believe it's a great tool used by police to catch fleeing criminals. And when these officers are close to the fleeing vehicle, think about the courageous actions it takes to do this, because the police officer is putting his safety and possibly his life on the line to keep the public safe. Now, many highway patrol officers and state troopers do use the PIT maneuver. And whether you agree or disagree, at the end of the day, it's the fleeing vehicle that initiated this entire interaction to begin with. So we start out today learning that the Arkansas police are looking.
you can be rigid about this and have it always this quote ready to go. But it's just cop out for just not doing better. Sorry. If your quote's always, oh, well, if you don't want to get ran into, don't do a crime. Yeah, I mean, I agree with this 100%. But then you're kind of adding the territory of like, I had to say it. Same thing as like George Floyd. People be like, dude, if you don't want to die, don't do drugs, don't do crime, don't resist. Okay, even though I understand the sentiment and it's gonna make sense logically, it's not because you did drugs and a crime and you resisted that you should die. All these things don't mean that you should die. If there's a way to proceed, if there's a way to do things, your food's coming. Yo, it says, I looked at it, it says two on the thing and there's only one. So I ordered you better food because we had this yesterday. I ordered you better food because we had this yesterday and I want it again.
I'm not saying anything. I'm not saying anything.
It's here in, it'll be in here like 12. But you can say thank you or you could act like that. It's all good. I don't mind it.
Oh, really?
Well, I mean, you challenging me. You're kind of being pissy a little bit about it. Come on, bro. I did that about you. I did that about you. I saw it was okay. So I give her my food and I order new ones, but this one we had it yesterday. So I give her food she had yesterday, right? Or I give you better food in like 10 minutes.
Thank you.
No problem. Okay. Chat, what's the thing? Chat, what's that saying? Yeah. So I think my parallel is pretty decent with the George Floyd thing. I think it's pretty decent. So you can say all these things and say, well, guys, dude, if you don't want to die and don't do a crime. If that was the model that we used and the police used to proceed, brother, we would be getting like 2 or 3 kills a day, like per fucking PD is what it is. Oh, is you guys doing a crime? Oh well. I mean, yeah, I could not ram your car, but I could also fuck your shit up and full speed ram and say, well, hey, you don't want to get rammed at full speed? Just don't do petty theft, you fucking loser. Well, okay, I mean, sure, but if there's a way to proceed that we could do better, it'd be kind of cool to explore those options, right?
For a male who's wanted on multiple felonies. And make no mistake about it, many times where these criminals know that they're wanted, they're not going to go quietly to prison. And keep in mind that these agencies have been trying to catch this male for a few months now, so the male is probably getting desperate. But when the bondsman and local police locate the male, he speeds off, nearly hitting an Arkansas state trooper. So we do see the disrespect for the law and the disregard for human life that he's displaying. And now police are in pursuit of this guy, and he's traveling at dangerously high speeds. And at this point, we see the marked vehicle become the lead vehicle. And that, of course, so the public and other police vehicles can identify what's going on and travel safely during these pursuits. And as this pursuit enters the interstate, we see much more traffic. And this is where the danger increases, and this is why balancing the safety of the public versus capturing this dangerous felon is difficult, because police do want to catch...
He's risking innocent lives. I understand it. But the way that they proceeded endangered lives of other people at an accelerated rate. So that it's not a trade-off that was even worth it at the time. They end up endangering immediately at more, I would argue, more people than the chase initially was, which I think is the main problem here. That's just the way that I see it logically.
Catch this guy, but catching him without injuries to anyone is the objective. But then the officer...
It's why in LA chases they stay so far back and they're so chill. Sometimes they don't even put the sirens on. They tail, they wait, they don't accelerate the pursuit. The closer that they get, the more that they're putting pressure, the more that the subject is going to be reactive to those pressures. It's going to increase speed, do crazier shit. They're going to go in. They'll just kind of tail, and a lot of times they'll just terminate if they saw the person and they should warrant. That's just the way it is. I mean, don't say that I don't know my shit. I know my shit. I've watched hundreds.
He chooses to make his move. He approaches the suspect's vehicle on the right side and he attempts the pit maneuver. And it does appear that he immediately straightened out his wheel, but he did have a tractor trailer in front of him. So that, coupled with the speeds that they were traveling at, is what I believe caused him
This is not an LA thing. It's just because we see LA chases. There's not a lot of other chases we could watch. Like, most is it's just there's a lot and a lot in LA. It's just it is what it is. Most departments function more so the same in that department. Also, let me show you an example. Let me show you an example. Bro, chat. Show me the one chat where the guy pits in the middle of the city. And it's the most outrageous pit in the history of pits. Show me that chat. What video is that?